been said. Our Congress people have said it gracefully. Our state rep has said it wonderfully. You are here supporting it. We are not going to let Trump just run all over us. That's right. We not. He's not going to have an ounce of peace for how many days? 75. 75 days? Yeah. We're going to raise Cain for 75 days. Peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. All right, thank you.
Okay, we've been saving a spot in the lineup for the ranking member of the Committee on Homeland Security, our state senator, who we're keeping there in November. So I'd like to bring Governor here just give a promotion. Senator.
Well, hello, everybody. It is wonderful to see all of you out here to make sure that we're standing and supporting the men and women who work for the Postal Service, who provide a service to each and every one of us. In fact, when you think about the Postal Service, it is the only delivery service that delivers to every single address in America. And when they do that, they strengthen our democracy. They are part of our Constitution because we know how important this service is. And right now, this service is under attack by a Postmaster General who was appointed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump put him forward. He was approved by the Board of Governors. His main qualification is he was a big contributor to the Trump campaign. And now he's put forward a variety of policies and procedures to slow down the mail. And I don't think they fully understand what that means when you slow down the mail. The men and women who work here every day know what that means. That means folks who rely on medicines, life-saving medicines, do not get them on time. I have heard from people all across the state. We have put up a website, a link to my website. I've heard from nearly 8,000 people all across the state of Michigan who are talking about a significant decline in the Postal Service and the reliability. I heard from Mary Brown, who talked about getting drugs through the VA for her husband who's a veteran, which she normally, when she orders it, it takes 3 days in order to come. But since the policies that have been changed by this Postmaster General, it took 13 days for those drugs to get to her husband. He missed doses. You should never be in a position where you miss doses because the Postal Service had policies in place that prevented that drug from getting out of time. And let's be very clear about this. Let's be totally clear. It is not because of the letter carriers. It is not because of the postal workers. It is not because of the mail handlers. It's the policies that were put in place by the gentleman that Donald Trump put as Postmaster General, and we will not stand for that. We want to have the post office return to the standards that they have had for over 245 years, delivering the mail through hurricanes, through tornadoes, through storms, to make sure that people get the medicine that they need. It's about paychecks, and people can't have a paycheck delayed because they have bills to pay. They live paycheck to paycheck, and when it comes late, that's a problem. Folks need benefits checks. Our senior citizens and small businesses need to be able to send those packages, particularly in the middle of a pandemic, to make sure that business gets to where it has to go so that they can survive. The Postal Service provides a service every single day. And that service is even more important now coming up as we go into an election. And let's be very clear, when you vote by mail, that's a safe, secure way to vote, and people should request an absentee ballot, particularly when we're in the middle of a pandemic. And when the mail is slowed down, folks may lose the most fundamental right that we have as Americans, and that is to cast our vote. To make sure that our voice is heard. So we have to all come together for this fight. I'm proud to say tomorrow in my committee, we're going to have the Postmaster General come before us, and he will be under oath, and we will ask the hard questions that need to be answered, and he will answer them tomorrow. He will tell us why. Why did you put these policies in place? Was it based on any kind of data? Was there any kind of analysis? And if it wasn't, why did you put them in place? Why do you jeopardize people's health? Why are you slowing down a service that is absolutely essential to people every day?
Because he's scared.
And if he can't answer those questions, we will stand up and say it's time for new leadership at the Postal Service.
Yes.
So we have to come together. You know, the fact that he has even backed off a little bit, I'll tell you why he's backed off a little bit. It's because of all of you, because the American people said, we will not stand for this. We will not let you mess with our post office. We will not let you mess with our families because you deny the services that they need. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for believing in the men and women who put their lives and their career forward and are passionate about delivering mail. Thank you to all of our letter carriers. Thank you to all of our postal workers. Thank you to the mail handlers that do this each and every day. You make our country stronger, and we will make sure that you are healthy and vibrant for 100 and another years. You are in the Constitution, you deliver these services, and we stand with you every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Peters. We've had quite a lineup, I'm sure you agree, of celebrities. We also have some local celebrities here who I've never met, so I don't know if they're here. But I would like to welcome, if he's here, Pastor Terry Thomas, who pastors the Christian Fellowship of Love Church on the corner across the street. I wrote the pastor a personal letter and said, your church mail is at risk, and surely many of your congregation. And he said he'd be glad to come and say a few words. So, if Pastor Terry Thomas is here, would you please come forward? Okay, we're also Bishop Ellis from Greater Grace said he'd be glad to say a few words. If the bishop is here, we welcome him to the microphone. While we're looking for the reverends, I'd like to introduce the president of my local, Detroit District Area Local of American Postal Workers Union, Brother Keith Postal.
Good afternoon, everyone. I really want to thank you all for coming out today. I'm so happy that we had our congressional leaders and Michigan leaders also come out and speak. They did a wonderful job. But we're here for a very important reason. The post office is trying to close this building. We won't let that happen. Mr. Stevenson and I have been on the phone with different postal leaders for the past 2 weeks, trying to make sure that they are not going to close this building. They have failed to give us any information regarding the closure of this building. They are mandated to meet with us when it comes to closing. They have not met with us. They have not told us one thing about why they feel like this building that represents 48,000 citizens should close during the time of an epidemic, which you already heard, and during the time of a possible vote by mail. So we are making certain demands to the post office. We would like to see the congressional leaders approve the $25 billion needed to keep funding the Postal Service through the COVID relief that is needed in order for us to continue our business. That is needed. We demand that the Postmaster General stop his cost-cutting cuts. We demand that. It needs to stop. Replace the machinery that you have dismantled.
That's right.
Unlock the collection box that you have locked up. All those things must be done in order for them to say they are suspending their plan in order to make cuts. Saying it is not enough. They have to do it. I want to thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you all. I appreciate every single one of you. I want to ask you all to do what is needed to do, and that's call your senators, call your congressional leaders and ask them to help the post office, to join us in the fight. And I'm asking you today to join us as well. Will you join us?
Amen.
Thank you. The Honorable Rashida Tlaib did ask me earlier that I looked a little stressed, and I did tell her that I was tired, because I am. But we won't faint. We won't stop. We won't give up. We are in this to the end. Until change comes, we are in it. We need a change in the White House, and we need some changes in the Senate. We have one way to stop this Postmaster General and this president, and that is on November 3rd, vote. And before, vote. Thank you.
Vote early. Vote early. Vote early. Part of how we have such a nice group today, part of how we've gotten ourselves in the news, part of how this fight keeps building, is that all over we have allies. One of our great, really allies groups is in Ann Arbor. They call themselves AWPU, Ann Arbor Beyond Borders. I've been meeting with them and working with them for a while, and their representative Lisa, if we can get her up here. Lisa Cadihero is going to say something on behalf of Lisa.
Hello everyone, my name is Lisa Carey-Harrow. I'm from A2B2. We are Ann Arbor After Bernie. We're a group of citizens who believe in oversight of our elected officials. We believe in promoting progressive candidates at the local stage, but we also believe in democracy and helping to save the United States Post Office. We've been working with a few months with Jane and the American Postal Workers Union, and we just want to show that citizens who live in the communities, who aren't postal workers, who aren't politicians, who are mothers, right, who are essential workers, who can come out and stand up for those who have been standing up with us my whole life. The postal workers have been there for me. So we just want you to know that we are shower-uppers, and we're here to stand in solidarity with the postal workers who are the ultimate shower-uppers. So let's just give a hand for our postal workers and keep showing up.
Thanks, Lisa, and thanks, A2B2.